Welcome back to the Presence of Being podcast. Thank you for tuning in and for being a part of our community. I hope you are having a great day wherever you are listening to this. So just the other day, I got a comment on one of my TikTok videos asking what are some tools you could use to practice presence on a consistent basis and just how to be more present in your day-to-day. And although obviously I talk about this all the time, I talk about this in my TikTok videos, I talk about this in pretty much every single one of these recordings, because I can wholeheartedly say that practicing presence and being more in the moment, being consciously in the now has completely changed my life for the better. So I talk about this all the time, and I have many recordings dedicated to talking about meditation and my meditation practice and how to get started meditating if you're a beginner meditator, someone who's never meditated before. I have many recordings talking about these specific topics, but I don't think I've made one yet talking about daily practices that are very practical that can be implemented consistently to help you experience more presence as you just go about the day. Kind of like a little tool book, a little handbook where you can go back to and just there's a list of little exercises or little techniques that you can use to be more in the moment just as you're going throughout the day. Practicing presence, like I said, has completely changed my life, and everything that we're building with Presence of Being is to promote a more present way of life. Like I said, this has made such a drastic impact in the way that I carry myself, the way that I interact with other people, the feeling of wholeness that I have within, and feelings of peace and calm. And that's why I love talking about it, because it's made such a positive impact in my life. So if there's any way I could share this kind of information with other people to hopefully help them, then of course I'm going to do it. So in response to the comment that was made on TikTok to another video I made, I responded to that comment in a video. Obviously, I'm not going to talk at length in a TikTok video. It's very short, but I do answer this question. So if you're interested in hearing what I have to say, you can go over there and listen. The video is only like 2 minutes long, but I wanted to hop on here and talk about it more in depth because I think it's very, very important, and I have a lot to say about this. I'm obviously very passionate about it. And in response to the video that I made answering this comment on TikTok, I got another comment, and someone said that meditation has completely changed their life and they're more present and they're very grateful, and that was music to my ears. I genuinely believe that meditating, practicing presence, if you do it consistently, if you make it a priority in your life, it can change your life for the better. And I want to get this message out to as many people as I possibly can, because it's life-changing. And I feel like at our essence, we all know this. We all know that presence is important and the only thing that we have. And think about it, how could it not be important if it's the only thing that we have? So in this recording, basically all I want to do is list out some practical steps that you can take to cultivate more presence, to be in the moment. Many of these are inspired by Eckhart Tolle, obviously somebody who I've mentioned many times in these recordings and on TikTok, the author of The Power of Now, Stillness Speaks, A New Earth. I highly recommend reading all of those books if you want a deeper understanding of how to be more consciously in the now and the importance of presence. But I think these techniques here, or these steps, are very simple to practice mindfulness as you're just going throughout the day. If you ever feel like you get too lost in thought or just too attached to everything that's going on around you, too sucked into everything that's going on around you, drama, whatever it might be, just in day-to-day life, maybe by coming back and listening to this recording, you can just take a few points here and there, apply it, and hopefully it'll help you just be more in the moment. And if you have a favorite technique, then go to that. If you enjoy all of them, then use all of them. In this list, I have about 10 or so that are quick, simple. So let's hop right into it. And hopefully this provides some value to you and helps you become more present as you're just going throughout the day. Daily, practical, little techniques that you can use to be more present. Also, just before getting into this, practicing meditation is, I think, the most foundational thing. It's not something that I incorporated in this list because if you're like at work or you're at school or wherever, you're just going throughout your day, like a lot of people just can't isolate themselves and close their eyes and meditate for 5 minutes or 10 minutes. So I didn't incorporate that in here. But with that being said, I truly believe that meditation is the best thing that you can do to help you become more present as you're just naturally going throughout the day. Whether that's you committing to 5 or 10 minutes or 10 minutes or 20 minutes every morning or every night before you go to sleep, if you can sit still and meditate and just focus on your breath and slowly start to create more space in between the thoughts that you have and slowly no longer identify yourself with every single thought that you have, and you're just still, very quickly you will notice that stillness being translated into you just going throughout your day. You're going to notice the fact that you're still, you're calm, you're peaceful, you're here right now as you just go about the day. It translates over. When you practice presence and you invest in stillness, in meditation, that's going to carry over as you're just going throughout the day, and you're going to feel that sense of presence as you're at work or interacting with other people or going to school or going to the gym or whatever you're doing. So meditation would be like the best thing, I think, for this, but I'm not going to talk about it at length here. I have many other recordings talking about it. You can listen to my recording, Meditation 101, where I go into a lot of depth if you're a beginner to this. So this list is practical steps, but I just wanted to get that out of the way and mention that because I think it's very, very important. So the first quick tip, I guess you could say, is focusing on your breath. So if you could just pause whatever it is you're doing as you're going about your day, just take a few deep, conscious breaths and focus your energy and attention on the breath entering the body and then exiting the body. You can do this with your eyes open. You can do this with your eyes closed, but just focus on your breath. Focus consciously on your breath. Take a deep breath, as many as you want, 2, 3, 4, 5. Only takes a minute, but focus on your breath. And what I do is I have a big inhale through my nose. I hold it at the top for about 2-3 seconds, and then I also exit through my nose, but you can exit through your mouth. Whatever makes you feel more calm, more in the moment, more present, do you. By paying conscious attention to your breath, it anchors you in the now. You're not going to be thinking about things when you take these deep conscious breaths. Your mind will not be drifting when you do this and when you do it consistently. So that would be the first thing. Focus on your breath. Consciously focus on your breath. Deep breaths. The second little tip I would say is use your senses. Be aware of your senses. Wherever you are, look around. Don't label the things that are going on in your environment, but look around. If you hear anything, focus on what you're hearing. Don't label whatever comes up. Like your mind is going to be like, oh, that's a dog, or oh, that's a car horn. Don't label it. Just be aware of it. Listen. What is going on around you? Try to hear the small things that you can't really hear if your mind would be chattering. Like, just listen. Look around. What do you smell? Intentionally engage all of your senses. If you see something that looks interesting, look at it. Really observe it. Notice things that maybe you wouldn't notice before if your mind was chattering nonstop. When you engage all of your senses, it pulls you right here in the here and now. The third thing, notice the space between thoughts. I've spoken about this many times. When you meditate, the spaces increase in between thought. They get bigger. They become more frequent. But Even if you aren't meditating, there is space that exists between thoughts. A lot of people don't appreciate these spaces, but when you exist in the space, or you become aware of the space, you notice the space, you observe the space, it's a nice place to be. You don't need to think 24/7. When you have a thought, before the next thought comes, notice to see if there's a little gap and pay attention to that gap. When you're going down the train of thought, pause for a second and pay attention to the space that exists in between the thought, the silence. And notice how sometimes your thoughts want to just pull you out of that space and get you to think even more about something else or about something else. Sometimes you're going to be still, and then you're going to be thinking nonstop. When those gaps of space appear, those gaps of stillness appear, appreciate them. Become more aware of them. The fourth thing I would say is focus your energy and attention on being rather than doing all the time. What this essentially means is whenever you're participating in a specific task, focus your energy and attention on that task. Don't just do that task as a means to an end. When you're actually engaged in a specific activity, focus all of your energy and attention on that activity. Don't just do it so you can get to another moment. Appreciate this moment by engaging fully in whatever it is you're choosing to participate in. If you're cleaning something, don't just try to get done the cleaning and rush through it so you can be over with it. Enjoy the process of actually cleaning. If you're making tea, enjoy the process of actually making the tea, pouring the hot water. Don't just do it to get over with it so you can drink the tea. Actually engage in being and focus on whatever it is you are currently doing in the moment. Shift your focus from the outcome to the actual experience, the actual process. The next tip, I think this is number 5, would be bring awareness to your body. Every so often, as you're just naturally going throughout the day, take a moment to check in with yourself, with your body. Do you notice any little sensations in your body? Is there tension somewhere? Is there discomfort somewhere? Is there itchiness somewhere, tightness? Notice your body. Actually feel into your body. Sense your heart beating. You can combine this with taking a few deep breaths to really feel into your body. When you're really aware of your body, you're going to be present. You're going to be still. It takes you out of your mind. The next tip would be, whenever you're walking anywhere, actually be conscious of the way that you're walking. Check in with, your body again, and open up your posture. Be intentional with the way that you walk. Pay attention to your feet and every single step that you're taking. Slow down. Don't rush. Actually notice the movement of your body, the air around you. Become fully engaged in the act of walking. And you can treat this as if it's a meditation even. Just bring your full attention to the act of walking. Make sure your chest is open, your chest is out, your posture is good, and just be fully here as you're walking. I do this all the time, and it's great. It literally is a meditation as you're walking, and you become fully engaged in the present moment. I know this is a little bit of a weird one, but if you try it out and you're just present as you're walking, you're not going to be thinking all the time. You're not going to get lost in the train of thought. You're just going to be fully here and enjoying the movements. It's kind of weird, but do it. This is a great little technique. Another one would be to engage in anything creative, whether that's journaling or listening to music or designing something, drawing something. If you can take a few minutes throughout the day and just be creative, listen to something that inspires you, allow yourself to be fully engaged in a specific activity that allows you to be creative in some way, shape, or form, or experience some sort of creativity. Another one would be to observe your thoughts. So meditation helps a lot with this one again, but whenever you're thinking about a million different things, allow yourself to just take a step back and be the observer of your thought. Notice, look at the way that I'm thinking right now, or, oh, there's my mind trying to get me to go down the rabbit hole of thought. Ask yourself, who's the one that's feeling the things that I'm feeling because of these thoughts? It's the awareness, the consciousness behind the thought. You exist behind the thought. You are not your thoughts. So just observe your thoughts. Observe the fact that they want you to go down certain routes, that they want you to attach yourself to certain things and label certain things in your environment. So just observe your thinking. That would be another one. Now the next one would be have a little reminders that you put somewhere, maybe on your laptop or in your bathroom somewhere, or when you wake up in the morning, put it beside like a little nightstand. Little reminders to just be in the moment. Put them in convenient places, and whenever you look at them, take a deep breath maybe, just be still, be centered, be aligned in the now. I have a presence of being sticker that I have on my laptop, and whenever I open up my laptop, I always see it. It reminds me of what we're building here, and also the importance of just being here, being in the moment. Put little sticky notes, whatever it might be, in convenient places. And this ties right into my next point of setting reminders throughout the day to go off so you can experience little pockets of presence. I like to call these little reminders pockets of presence. Whenever the reminder goes off, you stop what you're doing, you take a deep breath, and you just focus on being here and now. Obviously, if you're in like a work meeting, make sure you don't put a reminder to go off while you're in the middle of that meeting. But, if you want to set 5, 6, 10 reminders to go off periodically throughout the day, the reminder will go off, and it just take a moment, be present when that reminder goes off. And this will help you just be more present throughout the day. It's a reminder to be still, to be present, and to experience these pockets of presence. So the whole point of all of these techniques are just little practical things that you could be doing throughout the course of your day that helps you experience more pockets of presence, that help you experience or practice cultivating more mindfulness, being here, being in the moment as you're just naturally going throughout your day, doing whatever it is you're doing. We all get lost in thought as we're going throughout the day. We get lost in the activities that we're doing. We get too caught up labeling certain things in our environment. We get sucked into everything that we're doing, and we lose that sense of centeredness within us. It's very common, but when you have these pockets of presence, or when you implement some of these techniques, it helps you just suck you right back into the present moment. And then you'll engage in whatever it is you're doing again, and then maybe you get lost again, maybe you get lost in thought again. So it just helps you bring you back to the present moment and kind of grounds you in the now. That's at least how I look at it. Now, I think I listed maybe 6 or 7, 8 techniques there, but I can definitely list more if that is something that people are interested in. But I think these techniques here are the most common that I use, and if these resonate with you, let me know. I think these are like definitely a great starting place, in addition to, having that foundational practice of meditation, I would say, for sure. But even if you aren't meditating, these will definitely help you be more present in the moment. Like I said, as you're just naturally doing whatever it is you're doing, going through the course of your day. So let me know what you thought about this recording. If this helps, if you do this and you try these techniques, let me know if they work for you. I'd love to hear feedback on this. Just want to take a second here and express my gratitude and thank you very much for listening to these recordings and being a part of everything that we're building at Presence of Being. Let me know what you thought about these recordings or any of the past recordings. I'd love to chat. You could always DM me on Instagram at Presence of Being. Join the community over there. You can message me on TikTok. And yeah, I don't think there's anything else I want to cover here. Happy holidays. I know I mentioned this briefly in my last recording, but the energy around this time I think is very uplifting and it at least makes me very centered and focused on my vision. And that's why I've been in this creative flow, I think. So I just want to continue to capitalize on that. But I love this time of year. So I'm just sending my good wishes to everyone within our community. Happy holidays again. And I will see you in the next recording very soon.